My sister's baby died, and I told her it was her fault. I'm a 28-year-old woman, and I got into a massive fight with my sister at her baby's funeral. Yeah, you read that right. It's probably the ugliest moment of my life, but the thing is, I don't think I was wrong, and that's what's tearing me up. Because maybe I was an asshole, but if I could go back, I'm not sure I'd take it back. Let me explain. My sister, let's call her Claire, is 31. We were always close growing up, but over the past few years, something changed in her. She started getting really deep into online conspiracy stuff, not just the typical social media rabbit holes, I mean full-on medical misinformation, anti-vax pages, homeopathy blogs, YouTube healer gurus. She started saying things like, hospitals just want to scare you so you'll pay them, doctors don't care about your health, they just push drugs, childbirth is natural, women have been doing it for thousands of years without help, and that ultrasounds are radiation and they hurt the baby. When Claire got pregnant earlier this year, it was like she found her new religion. She dove headfirst into all these natural birth Facebook groups. She stopped seeing her OB and refused all tests, no blood work, no ultrasounds, and no gestational diabetes screening. She said she didn't want intervention. Said she was going to do a home birth with no pain meds, no hospital, no interference. And she hired this woman she found online to be her birth coach, not a nurse, not a certified midwife, just some lady with a website and a lot of herbal teas. I'm a nurse who works in the ER. I've seen what happens when home births go wrong. So I tried to talk to her, calmly, at first. I showed her studies, statistics, and real cases. She laughed and said I was brainwashed by Big Pharma and that doctors like me were the problem. Eventually, she stopped responding to my messages unless it was baby name ideas or nursery photos, so I started distancing myself. 2 weeks ago, Claire went into labor at home, just like she planned. Except nothing went according to plan. She was in labor for hours. The birth coach told her to stay calm, to trust her body. She bled a lot. The baby's heartbeat, not that they were monitoring it properly, became irregular. By the time the coach called 911, Claire had already been pushing for over 18 hours. The ambulance came, the EMTs did their best, but the baby was already gone. Born not breathing, and there was no pulse. They tried everything, but he was declared dead at the hospital. At the hospital, the doctors were clear: if she'd had prenatal care, if she'd come in at the first signs of complications, if she had delivered in a medical setting, that baby would likely still be alive. Claire didn't want to hear it, and neither did her husband. A few days later, we had the funeral. It was one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever witnessed. Tiny casket, sobbing parents and grandparents collapsing into each other. I sat in the back, trying to keep it together, even though, in the pit of my stomach, I wasn't just feeling grief, I was feeling rage, guilt, and helplessness, because everyone at that funeral was pretending this was some kind of tragic accident, that Claire was just a mother who lost her baby to fate, to God's plan, to bad luck. And then Claire got up to speak. She looked angelic, soft-spoken, shaking and teary-eyed. And then she said that she did everything right, trusted their instincts, that the system had failed them, and that if they were allowed to give birth in peace none of this would have happened. I swear to you, I felt my blood go cold, and that was the moment I broke. I stood up, I didn't shout, I didn't scream, but I said to her loud enough for the whole room to hear, that she did not do everything right. She ignored doctors and ignored every warning sign, and that she let her baby die because she wanted to prove a point, and that everyone was lying to her face because they are too scared to tell her the truth. The silence was deafening. Claire gasped and her face just crumbled. Her husband grabbed her and started yelling at me to get out, and my mom ran after me crying, saying that I was heartless, that I ruined the funeral, and that it was Claire's moment to grieve. I left since then. I've been called a monster. My aunt said she doesn't recognize me anymore. My cousins blocked me, and my dad told me I kicked Claire when she was already on the floor. I get it, I really do, but here's the thing, I didn't say it to be cruel, I said it because no one else would, because the truth matters, because her choices killed her baby, and no amount of sugarcoating is going to change that. Maybe I was the asshole, maybe I should have kept my mouth shut, but if I had, would she have ever faced reality? Would she ever stop convincing others to follow the same dangerous path? Or would another baby have to die first? So now I ask you, was I the villain for saying what no one else would, or just the only one willing to stop lying?